I'm NichBoy and welcome to Pocket for Wednesday, the 20th of January. Today on the show, The Witness wants your money, Minecraft EDU wants your baby's brains, and Episodic releases, how they are single-handedly killing the games industry. And your neighbor's dog. Alright, here's what's been making headlines. Pre-orders for Jonathan Blow's The Witness have gone live and the price tag has caused a bit of a stir. The game is listed on Steam and the Humble store at $40 US, causing a knee-jerk response on some popular gaming forums from people who deemed it too high a price for a puzzle game. The game has been in development for 7 years and will launch mid-next week. It will be interesting to see how well it sells at that price point. Former Sony Online Entertainment and Daybreak Games president John Smedley has finally revealed what he's been cooking up. Surprise! It's a soup! It's a game. As head of a new studio called Pixel Mage Games, Smedley is launching a 2D action RPG called Heroes Song through Kickstarter. Pixel Mage are hoping to raise $800,000 US through the crowdfunding platform, but Smedley revealed to news site Games Industry that the game would be made regardless of whether the campaign is successful. In other words, they want your money for nothing, so it's reasonable to assume they also want their chicks for free. Metal Gear Online has officially launched on Steam. The competitive mode for Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain launched in beta last week, but was quickly taken down when users managed to circumvent the game's paywalls. Those issues have obviously been ironed out, as Konami has made the game live for everybody who purchased The Phantom Pain on PC. I'm joined now by a real-life Christmas dinner, Goose.
Hi there.
To discuss our last news story. Microsoft has plans to repackage and relaunch the successful Minecraft variant, Minecraft EDU. The game/educational tool will launch as Minecraft Education Edition. So pretty much Microsoft acquired this from an independent studio called Teacher Gaming. Goose, have you played Minecraft EDU?
I have not, but I have covered quite a lot of stories where Minecraft is now being used in the classroom. Mm-hmm. So this is an obvious step forward for Minecraft and making it an actual official tool to be used in the classroom.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because the Minecraft EDU was always a bit of a strange beast, I guess, because it wasn't released by Mojang, it wasn't developed by them, it was this teacher gaming company who put out games for teachers to use in the classroom. It was sanctioned by Mojang, but it was never really owned by them. And so then Microsoft by Mojang, you spend billions of dollars in IP, you figure you want to start leveraging everything with it, and so they've now acquired these guys as well.
So it's not teacher games they've acquired, it's just this set of tools for Minecraft.
Correct, yeah.
Which essentially are, I think, a series of new sort of mapping tools and things that help teachers understand how to control a bunch of kids running around Minecraft.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure would be difficult on its own.
Yeah, I feel like the teacher gaming company, if I was them, when Microsoft buy Mojang, there would have been like a mixture of a bit of fear that you're suddenly going to get slapped with a bunch of lawsuits because they never really were 100% official. They were just kind of like, Mojang were just cool with it.
Or, as I said, they were just going to get knocked off by Microsoft.
Or they just steal their idea.
Yeah, exactly.
So, or, as it looks like now, they just get that sweet Microsoft payday.
I think they're okay with that.
They're just teachers in Bahamas now, drinking out of coconuts.
The real question
is... Minecraft coconuts, those square ones that you gotta break with a hammer.
Does the game now run the risk of being not cool anymore for kids? Because teachers are like, trying to bring in classrooms of kids going, I've got Minecraft in here, guys, come on in, let's learn,
Like it's like a cool band that suddenly everyone heard of.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Now you don't like it.
Essentially, it's the same game.
Yeah.
It's just, we're going to see lessons in, I guess, geography, and maybe they've mentioned
physics and stuff.
Maths as well. So I'd be interested to see how they teach different lessons within Minecraft, and I guess that curiosity will get the kids involved as well.
Yeah, and on your point that the game that they bought it as opposed to sort of just knocking it off and making their own version.
Yep.
The game already exists in school, so I figure that's part of the thing that it already has a bit of an establishment. So they're taking that to leverage that, and also you would think that Microsoft, being the giant evil corporation that we assume they are, would be gouging poor little students and little poor teachers who don't get paid anything. But the Teacher Gaming were sort of loaning out the servers or renting servers at $25 a month for this game.
Okay.
Microsoft's model is going to be $5 per account per year. So if you assume that school's in session for like 9 months a year, a school can get 45 Minecraft Education Edition accounts for the same price as the old model that they were currently, or that they are currently using. So nothing really changes for teachers other than you can get more accounts.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously it's going to be a lot more streamlined and hopefully a little more user-friendly, even more for teachers who, while they're meant to know what they're doing, often if you're in charge of 45 kids all playing Minecraft, you would hope there are some tools in there to be able to keep them in control.
The other thing this does is it's getting kids to play Minecraft, which they own, and it's also getting them to play Minecraft in Windows.
Yeah.
So it's like in school, in Windows, in Minecraft, you have to escape several layers of Microsoft to not be in that ecosystem.
And we all know that when you are raised on an operating system, that becomes the one you use for life.
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially, like it's too difficult to move on to something else. No kids are out there going, "I wish I was using Linux instead."
Which is, of course, why I still use MS-DOS. All right, that's it for the news. Moving on to the best part of the show. It's Thing of the Day.
Thing of the Day.
A group of dedicated Zelda fans are well and truly underway in an effort to remake Ocarina of Time in the style of A Link to the Past. OOT2D, as it's known, is being built in an entirely new engine created by the designers. They plan to launch a version of the game by mid-2016.
Thing of the Day.
Judging by your reaction off camera, this was news to you as well.
This looks awesome.
It looks very cool. All right, moving on to the talk through, where you suggest a topic and we talk through it. Today's talk through comes from Ameeth Murthy, who says, opinions on buying a full game, then it being released in episodes or seasons every few months. So they're talking about Telltale games and other sort of bigger AAA titles that follow that model. Do you play episodic games?
I do, and it's funny, the first one you mention is Telltale. That's the one that jumps to mind.
Yeah, it's because they put out about 12 of them a year.
Yeah, but they're also the ones that feel best suited for episodic content because they are stories. They are like, they're interactive stories.
Yeah.
So chapterizing them and drip feeding them out is a great way to keep you really involved in those games and those stories. You mentioned other models like AAA games now taking on this could be a concern because a game like, I think, Hitman is the new one coming out that's going to be episodic. I'm not sure how they're going to do that and how they're going to keep you coming back to that game once you've got the core mechanics of that gameplay down. Are you gonna come back? It's basically, that's just DLC, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of strange. The episodic releases, like you said, work for story-based games. So it works for Life is Strange, it works for something like King's Quest and the Telltale stuff, because you're getting a bit and then you're moving on. But it's always the same thing, it's pushing forward the story. The fear of putting them in big AAA games is that you're doing it for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Like, the model fits the storytelling of those sort of like choose your own adventure stuff. So I like that I can either buy it as a whole package, like I go, okay, so the Game of Thrones ones come out, I like Game of Thrones, I'll just buy the whole thing. Or you can buy them episode by episode to see what you think. Like, I think that works for that. When it's going on AAA, it just feels like what they're doing is they're trying to get your money while they haven't finished the game. Like, what they want by, like, I feel like by splitting something like Hitman up, they're going, okay, we want your initial investment, and then we're going to continue making the game over the course of a year, and you're going to continue feeding us money over the course of that. And there's no guarantee that, like, the thing at the end is going to reflect the quality at the beginning, because you could open strong and then, like, it doesn't do as well as you want it to, and then that starts fading out, and then it's like, well, how can we financially support this whole system the whole time? It really feels like it will be more DLC, like new zones to go to.
They've just realized that calling it DLC gets
it's
people
not
to be
good.
like, you had that discussion a few episodes ago.
Yeah, exactly, and we all agreed that, like, season passes are a waste of your money and DLC sucks.
But episodic passes?
I'm
intrigued.
I mean, this also seems to be a Square Enix thing, because they're doing it with Hitman. The fact that Final Fantasy VII is one big game
that people have experienced already.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Is being put out as this episodic thing. The reasoning they gave is that the game is too big to fit in one game. And it's like, but you're making Final Fantasy 15 as one game. If you're telling me that Final Fantasy 7 is bigger than Final Fantasy 15, then we have way more problems than episodic gaming.
You're right. It's when these business models start dictating the way these games are made and the way these stories are told, it just feels unhealthy.
Yeah.
And it's like you came to the, the realization talking about DLC, you've got to be sensible about it. And if you think that that game's not going to hold for the whole amount of the episodes that drop, or if they haven't outlined all the episodes that are coming out from day dot, which is what's nice about the Telltale games, you can see that there's 6 chapters.
Yeah.
That's your game. And to buy all 6 often costs...
Yeah, you get a bit of a discount compared
It's a discount, but it's the price of a regular game as well.
Yeah.
It's like, my worry is with something like Hitman, if you look at it 2 years from now and you look at all the episodes, that might stack up to, $250 or something.
Yeah.
Whereas if I've known that to buy all episodes, this is speculating, by the way. But if I know that all episodes are going to cost me $89, I'll go, yeah, that's the full game.
I know that they are putting out a retail version at the end of this year that's going to cost $60, so they are going to put together that package.
Yep.
But I think that the other concern I have with something like Hitman is that I was looking forward to that game. But I was looking forward to playing that game for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't return to games really once I'm done with them, particularly like sort of single player based ones.
Yeah.
So if you spread that out of the course of the year, I wonder how interested I'm going to be in doing more Hitman that I started at the beginning of the year where I learned a bunch of mechanics.
Yep.
And then like
Have
in
to
8 months'
relearn
time,
them.
I need to relearn those mechanics.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as watching a previously on in front of like a narrative-based Telltale or Life is Strange or something, and all you need to remember is, oh, I click and I walk. And that's
Exactly.
it.
And it should be up to us if we decide to binge through a game within a weekend or a week.
Yeah.
It's not up to the developers to say, no, you're going to enjoy this game over a whole year.
In small chunks over the course of the year. And if you start adding multiple AAA games like into that model, then that means I'm currently playing about 8 games.
Exactly.
And they're all different mechanics and stuff, but you haven't changed the complexity of them, you've just broken them up into pieces. And I think that's a bit concerning for me.
I agree.
All right, well, what do you guys think about episodic releases, both in sort of like the more story-based stuff and AAA stuff? Good, bad? Are you indifferent? Do you not care? Are you killing the games industry? Let us know in the comments, and while you're there, let us know what we should talk through tomorrow. Are you still on the internet? Then check out Good Game on Facebook, YouTube, and iView. Want to meet fellow Pocketeers? Then join the Pocketeers Facebook group and Steam group. You can follow Good Game on Twitter at GoodGameTV, follow Pocket at NichBoy, at Pierreth, and at Gigi, at Monkey. He's at Goose Mangus. There are links to everything I just said in the description below. Today's Thing of the Day was made by Binary Code. Thank you very much, Mr. or Mrs. Binary Code. Have you made a thing? Then please send it in. We've got so many, we love getting them. Until tomorrow, NichBoy out.
Goose out. Until an hour from now when we do episode 2.
Yeah, that's gonna cost you $60.
Sorry.